Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through the Richmond versus Geelong game in what was actually a pretty good game in general. 46-39, I think, is a really good women's game. I think that's sort of something that they should be striving for in the future with some, I think, minute or not really major changes with how the clock is run and some other things. And I think you can get to a lot more of these games rather than the sort of 2 to 3 goal piece games. I think you can get up towards these 6 or 7 goal games a piece, which are really, this one was really actually entertaining. I'm pretty sure Richmond kicked the last one to seal it with about 2 or 3 minutes to go. It wasn't sealed off till very late in the piece. I know that they kicked a goal with what was it? Let me bring up the timeline. They kicked a goal at 21:45 and the quarter was finished at 23:14. So there was about 30-40 seconds to go, I would think, with real time when Katie Brennan kicked the sealer. But it went back and forth a little bit, and they only took the lead with about 2.5 minutes to go after a goal from... they took the lead with about halfway through the last quarter. Then Geelong took it back, and you thought Geelong might steal it here with about 4 minutes to go. They kicked a goal straight away, Richmond, and then kicked a sealer right after that. But anyway, let's get into this recap here, and it's the Mon Conti show. She didn't have her greatest game. If we look at the live scoring quarter by quarter here, you'll see she started off very slowly, a 14, 39, 15, 30. She started off very slowly. But in the end, she got over the line for a 98. Pop Kelly, 95 as well. She's one that could also be very interesting come the ruck debate next year. She's put up some pretty good games. If we look here at her rucking for the year, she's averaged 76.2, which is up from 40 last year. So she's actually been really outstanding as a ruck. A solo rucking from a 40 to a 76. What's she doing round one? She went 72, 66, 86. You can't see that. 72, 66, 86, 74, 64, and then a 95. I think that 95 probably inflated her rucking a little bit, but she's been one that's done really well. So I think you can also, and I think this is, we've been talking about this quite a lot, and I think this will be a major debate throughout the whole year as whole preseason for next year, because you're going to want the money to save up for Ebony Marinoff, I would think, next year, given how good she is, if there are doubles especially. But having said that, so where are you going to save that money is going to be the big question. I think it will come in the ruck department, since a lot of us did go Edmonds and a rookie, or Strom and a rookie, or Frederick and a rookie, or something like that, or Allen and a rookie. You might have to go down that similar path there again. And it might be trying to load up on the defenders and let the midfielders just build up themselves, as that's where the big cash gen is made. I don't know what the exact strategy is. Usually we figure out that strategy about 3 rounds into the game cycle. So we got another sort of 350 odd days to figure it out. Sheeran, 74. She had 17 and 8. I think she'll be... This will be the last couple of games that she's valuable, because she's going to go straight into that midfield lottery of around those girls that average about 80 or so, and she's not that top liner type, and I don't think will really be that fancy relevant come the future. I know I'm already switching towards 2025 because there's not much to go with 2024. It's sort of just mini upgrades at the moment. Brennan, 69, she looked pretty good, but I don't think you're ever going to pick her up, given that she's not really getting midfield time at the moment for Richmond, and as a key forward, it's kind of hard. You'd have to look up matchup based, but I just don't think that she'd be one. 0% CBA, as you can see, pretty much exclusively forward. She would have been valuable back in the day, I would have expected, probably. Actually, probably never really. She just sort of kicks. Is there any time that she actually played on ball a little bit? Maybe over here, maybe a little bit here, just because she played a little bit on ball. But it looks like maybe, or not. But she's never really been fancy relevant, as you can see. 71 last year was quite a sort of breakout. Well, not really a breakout, but just sort of a fancy breakout, you would say. Egan, 23 touches. She's one that's been interesting throughout the year, not really ever taken her chance to go big. Mackenzie as well, one that's sort of grown into her role and had a sort of mini breakout, I would say, but maybe there's a secondary breakout next year on the cards. We'll just see what's her average. 63. No, that's Egan. I want Mackenzie. I want Mackenzie, not Egan. I want Mackenzie, which will make it a little bit easier to show what I'm trying to say here. 61 last year in one game, 58 the year before. So she had a 69. Will she take the next step? We'll wait to see that, as she's had really good CBA time, and I think there could be one that there could be a secondary breakout, but I think it's harder to bank on natural improvement here. As you see, it's probably easier to see here, this 58 to 69 jump across 2 seasons. It's harder to bank on natural improvement rather than just someone in a role change or a rookie, etc. Or what we were saying, I've been bashing on about in the last sort of week or so, was that 22, 23-year-old, or even sort of that 21 to 23-year-old that's been in the system a couple of years, has had some injuries, etc., hasn't really played, or someone that's going to have that role shift into the midfield. That's what you want, rather than probably an Ellie McKenzie double breakout. Or a second year of breakout. Dempsey 52, Lynch 51, Yassir 48, Hicks, Lavy. Lavy sort of slowed down a little bit from memory when we were talking about her a couple of weeks ago, or at least someone put it in the comment section. Greiser 33, Seymour, Ryan, Hoskin, Dalloway, Miller, Graham, Ford, Bacon, and Luke. Bacon's one that I'm also intrigued about. I'd need to look up her sort of stats and how old she is, because I'm pretty sure she's relatively young, but I think she follows the same mold as like a Laura Gardner did, and some others, as I'm pretty sure she is. Selected 13th overall in the 2023 draft, is 19 and has played a little bit on ball. Excuse me. But yeah, she will be a little bit, she'll be the one that I think takes the next step in the future, to be honest with you. Tamara Luke, 3 again, just not really scoring well. Then you get down here, and Maloney, 91, she was outstanding. For some reason, a key forward, having 22 touches, which was the third most on the ground out of everyone. It's quite ridiculous. And so yeah, that was tied third most with Morrison, I think, just looking quickly here. Morrison 85 as well, she was pretty good as well, but yeah, a key forward having the most for their side is kind of crazy. Webster 84, she's one that I think if she holds the defender status next year, given that she's played some time in the midfield, I don't know her exact time in the midfield, but I would think it's probably about 15-20% now. 31% CBAs, 90% TOG, so she's going to hold defender status, I would think, but it's going to start to get tight. If she starts playing 80% TOGs, then it will, 80% basically full midfield time. If she starts doing that for the last 3 rounds, that's going to rocket her up here, and if she's playing around the ground as well, that could be interesting next year if she gets stuck in the midfield only. As that'll actually open up the defender. That'll open up the defender very, very openly to basically be the Daisy Darcy show. Because yeah, that is creeping up. So that is just a watch for next year. I don't know exactly what it is, because the CBAs isn't everything. It's where they're actually positioned, and I don't think she's got I don't think she'll be a midfielder yet, but it's creeping up slowly, as obviously the 90% TOG for 31 is way off, but that can easily change in the last 3 rounds, because if she has full-time mid for the last 3 rounds, that'll be near enough for the it'll get close. I think it may just creep her over. Which would be a little bit annoying for those people, because for next year, because she will lose all fantasy relevance unless they go to a dual position model, which I don't think they will for the women's game. Crockett Grills, Darby Bowen, Prisparkis 75. She's just not really scoring that well. I think she's still hampered. She'll be one that we may choose next year to just go up, given that she's going to be priced off of this one here this year as a 66 so far. And yeah, she just hasn't really been able to get back to her best, which has been really surprising, as last year she's been one that hasn't really been able to ever, as you see here, just looking through her games log, you can see doesn't really have the high ceiling score. She has a 147, but outside of that, it's a 131, then a 110. So it doesn't really have that high ceiling like we're talking with Ali Anderson, but used to have that really high floor. She had a 45 game in season 7, but in season 8, that was her stats: 149, 147, 89, 108, 168, 94, 96, 99, 93, 104, and then in the final series she had 76, 106, 71. But as you see, that's a pretty high floor for that. given that she's had one bad game of a 68 and then an 89 for the whole season effectively. So yeah, just really weird to see that she just hasn't been able to put up a decent score, and this year pretty much with a high of 96 when that was pretty much her floor last year, or near enough one of her worst games. So she's been definitely probably an M4 candidate if you wanted to go down that path to be able to save money for Marinoff. Or if you don't go Marinoff, then that'll be interesting to see if she pops up into discussions. Edmondson, Parry, Friswell 43, just not really scoring that well. I just want to also look at where do I have the live scoring? Give me live scoring. And then I want to look at Prasparkas here, 23, 13, 16, 23. So she's scoring well consistently, but just needs to have that big pop quarter where she goes like 40. And if she replaces a 16 here with a 40, then that's pretty much a 100 score right there. So yeah, I'm intrigued with her in the off-season. I think that'll be a big talking point. Featherson, Bragg, McDonald, Maloney. Maloney's also one that I'm looking at because she has that sort of signs of a player that could move off. I think we discussed it last week as well. She has sort of the the non-CBA, but also is built sort of as a midfielder. I think she could move off and really to another club and really be worthwhile, as they do have a jammed midfield now of it's going to be next year, McDonald, Prasparkas, Morrison, as well as Webster using time in there. If we go to this tab here, I think it is, yes. And then we go over to Geelong, you'll see exactly what I mean with it. Maloney's not really getting, as you see here, she's getting 47%, but even now she's getting 0%. It's been, she's sort of had Webster come in and take her place. And I just think that she's not. If we look at Darcy Maloney, is it this tab here that has Darcy Maloney? No, that has Pop Kelly. We'll change it here. Darcy Maloney. There you go. You'll sort of see what I'm trying to talk about here with the Darcy Maloney. She's definitely down on last year's stats, but yeah, you can see here playing full forward basically the whole game on the weekend, and then almost on a wing the week before. And you can see here, with the better midfield time, she actually does score generally better. So I just, I wonder if she's one that with a new club, she could absolutely explode. But I don't know if we'll get that opportunity to see if that happens. Thorne, Cairns, Kennedy, Rankin, Gunjaka, and then Smith. Gunjaka's really been disappointing, but I guess she's gone into more of a lockdown role. So that is the case where she concedes some free kicks as well as not get as many free possessions. So anyway, that is the video there, going through a long recap of the Richmond versus Geelong game, in which more so talking about Geelong and how they could have some very, very interesting fantasy prospects for 2025. And also discussing some fancy prospects for the Richmond side in general for 2025 and the rest of 2024. So anyway, if you did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next recap. Bye guys.